Miss Clark?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'm on the line.
All right, we're all on.
Good.
Great. Okay, and Mr. You're recording this call, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so I'm just going to do a few preliminary things first. This is Kim Clark. It's December 15th, and this is a telephone conference call with docket number 1726-08L. Mr. Could you identify yourself?
This is...
And we also have on the line Mark Stevens.
That's correct.
And Mr. Stevens, are you Mr. representative, or are you just on the line?
I'm his representative today.
Okay, so are you a CPA, or do you have a power of attorney?
I have a power of attorney, yes.
Okay, for me?
Yes.
Do we have a copy of that power of attorney on file?
No, I have not sent that to you.
Would you be able to fax that to me?
I can. You mean right now?
If possible, yes.
Well, I can't. No, I don't have a hand right at the moment.
Okay. Well, I just want to get verbal confirmation from you, Mr. Today we're going to be discussing your personal income tax information, and I want to make sure we have authority to disclose that information to Mr. Stevens.
Yes, you do.
Okay, great. Oh, I think that is the...
Shame. Shame. Shame.
What's going on YouTube? Shame TV, East Watch, your host, Derek Jones. Also Derek Jones Talks Live, Derek Jones Talks 2, and the newly reformed Derek Jones Talks. Here giving you a quick little video and our extended discussion. Status correction. Bullshit or not, status correction versus facts and or evidence that the law applies.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
Preliminary information. I just wanted to make sure, given our disclosure regulations, that we could discuss your information. The purpose of this meeting is to prepare this case for trial. As you know, we're supposed to agree on all the facts that are not in dispute and submit something called a stipulation of facts to the court, which includes documents and any facts. It would include copies of your administrative file if you're willing to stipulate to that. Do you have any documents that you're planning to introduce at trial, Mr.
Well, just time on Miss Clark. We wanted to discuss first as far as what you're planning to bring and what you've gotten in the informal discovery request was not responded to. So if we could start with what facts and evidence and witnesses you rely on, that would get us through this quicker. We could save a lot of time.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
Here we go. Very quickly, I'm not going to interrupt much in this video. I just wanted to let you guys know the very first approach that was being used by Mark Stevens, M-A-R-C Mark Stevens, No State Project. Continuing, the point I'm trying to make right now is everything she was saying was a process that we generally go through. Even when dealing with status correction, there's a process. The logical question for one to ask, any sane, competent adult should be asking is, first, how does any of these things apply to me in the first place? You cannot put the cart in front of the horse. The horse belongs in front of the cart. That is why asking for facts and or evidence is paramount, as you will see here.
Okay, so first of all, we have the administrative file, and our position is that at least for 1999 through 2001, really fast.
Well, what's in dispute is the issue of the taxable income. So which witnesses do you rely on to prove that Mr. J is a taxpayer under federal tax law?
Witnesses?
Yes.
We're not planning to have any witnesses unless Mr. is not going to stipulate to the administrative file. At this point, I mean, that may change by the time we do our trial memorandum, but at this point, we don't have any witnesses to call.
You don't rely on any witnesses to prove that Mr. is a taxpayer under federal law? This is just your opinion?
Mr. Stevens, this is not an opinion. We're discussing whether we're going to, how we're preparing the case for trial. I'm not planning to call any witnesses during the trial.
Okay, so all right, I'm just trying to verify this and so that we understand. So if paperwork is filed in court, there's less of a chance that you're going to think we're taking your statements out of context. So you're saying that at this point, and let's just discuss this freely as if we're not actually going to trial. Do you have any witnesses to rely on to prove that, with personal first-hand knowledge, that Mr. is a taxpayer under federal tax law?
I can see where you're going with this, Mr. Stevens.
Shame.
As you noticed, she did not provide a yes or no answer, because those of us who actually have facts and or evidence that what we're saying applies, when asked a direct yes/no question, we would reply yes. Or if we were honest, we would reply no.
As far as relying on witnesses with first-hand knowledge that he's a taxpayer, that determination was made in the administrative file, and we're relying on third-party information, which was reported to us by several payors that gave reported income to Mr. Stephen during the taxable year, 2002 at least.
Shame.
She's relying on third-party information. The question was, do you have any facts and or evidence that he's a taxpayer, or that any of these things apply to him? Her answer, a third party.
Shame.
So let me ask you, is there someone in this administrative file that will be identified as a witness with personal knowledge that Mr. is a taxpayer?
The administrative file lists all of the people who made determinations along the way as far as the notice of federal tax lien and the notice of intent to levy.
Okay, would they qualify as witnesses with personal knowledge that Mr. is a taxpayer under federal law? I mean, would you feel comfortable calling any of those people as witnesses that they're qualified to testify against Mr. and that he's a taxpayer under federal law?
Now, if we're going about the definition of a taxpayer,
No, I didn't ask you that.
discussing,
No, I didn't ask you that. I'm talking about a witness with personal knowledge that's qualified to testify in court that Mr. is a taxpayer under federal tax law. I didn't ask you about a definition. I'm just asking you about if you have a competent witness to testify against him.
Shame. Shame.
well, if we're having competent witnesses testify against him, then we're preparing for trial. And I am not planning to call witnesses at trial at this point.
Well, at this particular point, what we're trying to establish is that you don't have any witnesses, so that when you call in your paperwork, when you refer to Mr. as a taxpayer, you're doing that based on your own knowledge or it's your own opinion. It's not actually based on a competent witness that you can rely on at trial.
Yes, and this is something that you can make arguments to the court about, but at this point we need to discuss preparing for trial.
Well, that's what we're actually doing. So, do you have any witnesses with personal knowledge that Mr. Jackson has taxable income under federal tax law?
I'm not planning to call any witnesses.
Oh, okay. So just to clarify, you see, there's a fine distinction here. I don't want to be accused of, or having Mr. be accused of taking you out of context when you say that you're not planning on bringing any witnesses, and then we bring into court that you don't have any witnesses, and you say, well, no, I didn't say that. So I need you to clarify. Do you have any witnesses that you rely on, at least during the pretrial stages, to prove that with personal first-hand knowledge to prove that Mr. Johnson has taxable income under federal law?
At this point, I'm going to say that this is going to be a frivolous argument, and I'm not going to discuss that during this pretrial conference.
What frivolous argument are you talking about? I'm asking you a question. What are you leading to?
I think at this point, I'm going to need to end this call.
A typical lawyer tactic, claiming that first asking questions is arguing, which to all reasonably sane adults, we all know that asking a question is not an argument. Asking a question is not an argument. And calling someone's argument frivolous. Frivolous means, by definition, so lacking in merit that it does not require demonstration. Being that she is a prosecuting agent in her capacity in the way that she's dealing with these two individuals, any argument, any question that they raise cannot be frivolous because she has a burden of proof. So the mere fact that she has a burden of proof shows that no question can be frivolous. And if it's so easy to answer, why don't you just answer?
Shame. Shame.
What?
Shame.
I don't understand. I'm asking you for witness. I'm asking you basically what witnesses you rely on. You think that's frivolous?
I'm not relying on any witnesses at trial.
Okay, are you
We have
relying...
information from third parties that has stated that Mr. received income from them
Okay.
years, and I'm trying to determine whether he received that income, and then we can argue whether it's taxable in front of the judge.
Well, I don't think we need to do that. We're trying to maybe possibly avoid trial. If you don't have any witnesses with personal knowledge that he has taxable income, because the third parties didn't determine that, that was had to have been shown at the Internal Revenue Service. If you don't have any competent witnesses to rely on, and Mr. has taxable income, you could just say that. That's not frivolous. The last time I looked, asking for witnesses that were competent to testify has never been determined to be a frivolous argument. And if you believe to the contrary, you need to cite. It's never been determined to be a frivolous argument. And if you believe to the contrary, you need to cite a Supreme Court case that actually lays that out, because that would be a huge shift in American law. We just want to know specifically, do you rely at this point in the pretrial on any witnesses with personal knowledge of Mr. Jones' taxable income? Hello?
Sorry, I was just trying to think of a response that would, at this point, let's see.
Well,
I know what you're trying to get at.
Well, I'm just trying to get at if you have witnesses with personal first-hand knowledge that he has taxable income. That's what I'm trying to get at. I'm not making an argument. Mr. isn't making an argument. If it comes out that you don't have witnesses with personal knowledge, we'll make an observation to the court, not an argument. We will let the court know that you don't have any witnesses with personal knowledge to support your accusations against Mr. That's not an argument. That's an observation based on what I've said to you. So,
Yeah, I see where you're coming from.
yeah, I'm just asking for witnesses. That's all I'm doing. I'm asking if you have witnesses with personal knowledge. There's no ulterior motive here, Miss Clark.
This was a quick little audio and me working at my little new app and program to make videos. Just wanted to show you guys how these people are when questioned, especially when you're not standing in a courtroom and they can't just throw you in jail. But the point of all of this is to say what? Why go in court taking a burden of proof upon yourself when they've made so many mistakes and make so many mistakes the entire time? Number one, as I stated before, prosecutorial misconduct. By the mere fact that they're calling him a taxpayer without one shred of evidence, one witness with personal first-hand knowledge to attest to that in fact and or indeed he is a taxpayer, is misconduct. You're arguing facts, not in evidence. You want to call him a taxpayer to label him so that it works better in the thespian play that they call court. But when questioned about your facts and or evidence, you have none. Shame TV East Watch, playing around with my new little app here, making a video. You see the t-shirt right here in the corner. Don't forget about us, guys. Don't forget about the t-shirt drive. Make sure you contribute to it. Right here on display, we have the Indigenous American College t-shirt. Go check it out. You can order it right now. Once you order, your purchase will be confirmed and you will receive your date of receiving for the product, that you will receive your product. So like, comment, share, subscribe. Just a little audio. Status correction, taking the burden upon yourself, claiming to be and claiming what must be done under law, claiming that you're going to take over the court, claiming you're going to do all these things. Yet I've never seen any video evidence of such. That versus taking everything these people say to you and handing it right back to them, because that is all that he did. All he did was take her allegations and show her how weak her position is. How weak it is to come from a position to call people taxpayers, to call me anything, and when I ask the facts and evidence that you have to do such, you have no comment. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit the link in my About section if you're on your mobile phone. Hit the link in the home page if you're on your laptop or PC. Order the t-shirts now. They're for sale. I'm going to holler at you guys in a sec.